Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We have finally hit single digits. We are 9 days away from kicking off the 2025 season against Syracuse. We had a fun live stream last night. If you missed it, go back and give it a watch. A lot of good conversation with Coach Jay, Foul Ming, Vols Scoops. We talked about that first game against Syracuse. What do we want to see? What would give us confidence for the 2025 season? Is it consistency from the offense, maybe consistency in the passing game? Do you want to see a dominant defense? What do you want to see? Great live stream. Go back, check it out. But things are also heating up on the recruiting trail. It is flip season, of course. All eyes are on Tristan Keys. Some people saying it's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. And I've also got some good news and I've got some bad news for you this afternoon. Let's start with the bad news, and that is five-star interior offensive lineman Darius Gray. He's 6'3", 285 pounds out of Richmond, Virginia. Again, number one ranked interior offensive lineman, 22nd best player in the country. He is a dude. He is scheduled to come off the board tomorrow, Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. It's Clemson, it's LSU, it's Ohio State, South Carolina, and Tennessee. A lot of people have put LSU and South Carolina at the top. About a week and a half ago, Steve Wiltfong had South Carolina and Tennessee at the top. But he said Tennessee was increasing their intensity. Then they kind of fell off a little bit. Austin Price has been saying it's kind of fallen off a little bit. Not a whole lot of buzz, not a whole lot of talk around Tennessee and Darius Gray, again, scheduled to come off the board tomorrow night. Now you can see what we call a spoiler alert. This is not a prediction. This is not what Steve Wiltfong thinks. This means the coaching staffs have been informed. That news has been leaked to Steve Wiltfong. He's putting in his expert prediction. That's why, when we look at these things, when we look at these predictions, go back to Savion Hyder. Why didn't Steve Wiltfong put in a prediction for Hyder to Michigan? He said he felt good about it, but he didn't put in that prediction because he wants to be 100%. He wants to be as highly accurate in these predictions as possible. Didn't put one in for Hyder because Savion Hyder never told the coaches. But now you see Darius Gray, the official prediction to end up at South Carolina. Now, last night during the live stream, we were also talking a little recruiting. We were talking about possible flip targets for Tennessee as we move into the next weeks, as we get closer to not only college, but also high school football. Of course, all eyes are on Tristan Keys. Also, a couple of four-star edge rushers that Tennessee is working to flip. Tristan Givens, currently committed to Texas A&M. Hezekiah Harris, also committed to Auburn. He's been committed to Auburn since July of 2024, and his brother also plays at Auburn, but Tennessee is working him. Again, there are a couple of four-star edge rushers, both ranked inside the top 100, so they are legitimate dudes. We talked a little bit about Lincoln Watkins, the three-star tight end that's currently committed to Kentucky, but there's another guy that we talked about last night. That's four-star offensive tackle Kamari Blair. We got some good news to talk about, but first, I need you to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up right down there below the video. It's quick, it's free, it's easy, it helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts, we're not insiders, we're not media. We don't sell you on that. What we are is exactly what you are watching this video. It's for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live and when we drop a video. Next live stream is going to be Sunday night. That's the members only fan call-in show. It is an absolute blast. It goes off the rails. We talk Tennessee football. It's a fun hangout. If you're not a member, you can hit that join button. It's $1. $1 a month. You get a fan call-in show, members only stream every Sunday of the week. But I said we've got some good news, so let's flip over and let's talk about that good news. And again, we were just talking about Kamari Blair last night on the live stream as a potential flip target. Hayes Fawcett puts out the graphic breaking four-star offensive tackle. Kamari Blair has flipped his commitment from South Carolina to Tennessee. He tells me for Rivals, the 6'6", 285-pound offensive tackle from Clarksville, Tennessee, had been committed to the Gamecocks since July. He says, blessed. Now, why were we on flip watch here? Because, again, it felt like Tennessee was fading for Darius Gray. And even though he's listed as the number one ranked interior offensive lineman in the country, he wants to play offensive tackle. How much does that factor into it? So does Tennessee want him on the interior, but South Carolina says, hey, we're willing to give you a shot at offensive tackle? And then Kamari Blair says, well, if you're taking him as tackle, then I'm bouncing. I'm going back to Tennessee where I wanted to be in the first place. And that's the deal with Kamari Blair. Kind of a weird recruitment, man. He's an in-state kid. He's out of Clarksville, Tennessee. He wanted to be at Tennessee. It felt like Tennessee was the front runner. And then South Carolina, late in the process, dropped the bank. They dropped the bag, spent the money. Austin Price himself said that maybe South Carolina overpaid a little bit for Kamari Blair because they had been missing on a few guys on the recruiting trail, so they were willing to do that to land the big four-star offensive tackle. Again, 6'6", 280 pounds, in-state kid. We talk about that being a priority. That's why it stung when we lost Kamari Blair. He's also ranked inside the on 300. Ranks 274th nationally. Tennessee now in this class of 26 has 10 guys ranked inside the on 300. But again, man, his recruitment was kind of weird all over the place. He committed to South Carolina over Tennessee and Ole Miss, and really Ole Miss led most of the way. They led most of his recruitment, but it got really it got interesting those last 48 hours. Some had Ole Miss and South Carolina at the top. Others had Tennessee and South Carolina at the top. You know, Austin Price kind of put out that narrative that I mentioned earlier, that about 25 hours prior to the decision, he said, hey, South Carolina's willing to overpay here, so buckle up. And then Steve Wiltfong, back in late July, Tennessee got the commitment from Joel Wyatt. He's talking about in-state prospects, and this is what he said about Kamari Blair. He said, Tennessee lost at the buzzer to South Carolina in the recruitment of four-star offensive tackle Kamari Blair. The Vols will continue to pursue the Kirkwood High standout after prioritizing him earlier this summer and quickly building a relationship with him. And relationships is something he talked a lot about with VolQuest after his commitment. He said, I'm as excited as I could be. It's been a fight between both schools. For most of my recruitment now, I just think in the end, I had to do what I had to do. I'm excited to play and get on campus. He said distance was a big reoccurring thing. He says being in my home state just kept feeling more like home. He says the constant FaceTimes, letters, and texts, just the openness. Said, I'm excited. I mean, who wouldn't be? Everyone is going to be happy. It's going to be a good time. He also talked a lot about the staff continuity, the fact that Glenn Ellerby and Josh Heupel have been together for like 10 years. He likes that in this coaching staff, has a great relationship with Glenn Ellerby, a great relationship with Josh Heupel, but makes it official today. Boom, shocks the world. Nobody knows. My phone's blowing up. We jump on here. We talk about it instantly. Flips from South Carolina to Tennessee. So what is he bringing to the table? Again, we could talk about rankings and him being ranked inside the on 300. Here's a scouting report from Gabe Brooks over at 247 Sports. Says, I really like this guy. He was verified around 6'5", 235 in the spring of 24. So we knew he had to add significant mass. Looks like he's doing so, and he's doing it the right way because he's obviously wearing new mass well. Said Blair's profiles as a high-ceiling, long-term developmental offensive tackle. Of course, the flashes are there on tape from his left tackle spot, but he checks a number of other boxes as well. Said he's played basketball before. He throws a shot put and discus, including within a foot of the 50-foot threshold in the former, and he's gotten significant two-way snaps, even with some exposure to a standing two-point edge alignment. All those factors speak to a significant upside as he continues to physically and technically develop. It goes on to say as a taller, leaner tackle, Blair plays high and narrow at times, but that's fixable. You love to see him pulling around the formation and screaming to the second level as a run game presence, and his physical traits and athletic profile point to a ton of potential as a pass protector. Might take some time, especially considering the learning curve along the offensive line, but Blair could really hit big down the road, in my opinion. So there's a scouting report again from Gabe Brooks over at 247 Sports, man. Just continuing to build this class of 2026. Of course, all eyes are on Tristan Keys. Will he make that flip? But you look at what Josh Heupel has added in this class, man. Again, you already got an elite guy in Gabriel Ascenda. He's listed as a 4-star according to the On3 industry rankings. 247 Sports has him as a 5-star, getting JB Shabazz. That was a huge commitment. We talked about him a little bit last night. Again, another 4-star offensive tackle ranked just outside the on 300. And now you add the flip from Kamari Blair choosing Tennessee over South Carolina. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, make sure you smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Go check out the Tennessee merchandise. Brand new Talkin VAWLS TN-themed merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. But that is going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.